Everybody seemed to make it look easy against Parn.
Except for the fact that the show also wants us to think that Parn is a lot better than he used to be.
Yeah. And he can kill that Berserker like you mentioned earlier.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Stoneface Reactions. I'm Theta, this is Ray.
Hello everybody, how you doing?
And we're back with episode 9 of Record of Lodoss War. I almost forgot what we're watching. I don't know how. Happens to me every
made
time.
It this far.
Well, I'm watching so much stuff that sometimes I'm just like, pause for a second. What show is this again? Even though I've legitimately got a whole notepad full of stuff in front of me.
Well, thank God for this.
Yeah. Well, speaking of which, we come back with the board. We come back with notes. I've picked out a comment to go over. But as always, we do start with the board. And with the board comes the board changelog, where I've added Shiris and Orson and connected them together with a yellow line because they seem to be implicitly their own party.
Yeah, they came out last episode, right? They were like brand new to the
episode 8. Yeah. I have a note about that too. And then I connected them to the party line with a white line because they were antagonistic at the very beginning, but then they separated. I added Hiyori, Spirit of Rage and Madness, to the spirits listing. I marked Gim as dead, and I added a new line color, orange, for inhabited, to indicate the people that Carla has possessed, then tied Carla to Lelia and Woodchuck with orange lines.
Gotcha.
There's a difficulty there, which I'm going to have to compare to another show. Link Click is another show that I'm watching. And in Link Click? Yeah, it's a Donghua Chinese anime, essentially.
Okay.
And in that, there's a character that can inhabit other people. We call them Red Eyes because we don't know their name yet. So the idea that putting on a board, I don't know who Red Eyes actually is. I've been using an image of a character that I thought that they were. And It turns out that that person was actually another person impersonating one of their own family members. So
like some Scooby-Doo mystery going on.
You really have to keep track on Link Click. But the idea is that representing that on a board would also mean having to switch around all the lines connecting to that image, when it turns out that image turns out to be another character that you already know. In this case, Carla is Red Eyes in Link Click, which is to say, the person I have for Carla is technically Lelia, obviously, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if I was to say, okay, well, those relationships change, do I reconnect those lines to Lelia, or do I leave them on Carla? I think it's easier just to leave Carla with the image of Lelia, or maybe I should put Woodchuck up there now, and say the things that the inhabited person does is that section of the board. But the person's body that they're in has their own pre-existing relationships. Now, gotcha. I mean, that can change too, right? It can can Carla, as Woodchuck, do something so vile that it makes people hate Woodchuck too, even though it's not his fault.
Yeah, I would say that kind of reminds me a bit of that. You go back to Babylon 5 with Bester and Garibaldi.
Well, I would argue that is Bester's fault, though. Oh, you're saying people hate Garibaldi because of what Bester did?
Because of what he did and stuff. And it was beyond his control.
Yeah, I mean, a bit tangentially, I can see that. I mean, from the element more so of what if Woodchuck kills, like, say Parn and Deedle get married, have kids, like, way down the line, Carla's still inhabiting Woodchuck. Woodchuck then kills their son, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's not Woodchuck's fault, you're viscerally going to feel that emotion towards the guy, the person you see who killed your son, even though you know it's not Woodchuck's fault.
Yeah, it's a natural reaction. I mean, it will be a natural reaction to something like that, which is that horrendous.
Right, so that in board representation could change a line color going to Woodchuck, even though Woodchuck has done nothing.
Okay. And as far as we're concerned, it was 2 people she had so far. She's had Layla, and now she has Woodchuck.
Yep, the orange lines.
And who knows if she's planning to attack again?
Well, do remember that episode 9 onwards is different from the actual story.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, I see that I know that you also have the Great Sage in that same orange.
You're talking about no, that is let me bring my mouse over here. That is over here.
Okay.
So I don't know how zoomed out you are. So I was like, can I escort your cursor over?
Yeah, my cursor's right next to Moth, but yeah, I can see.
That's representing Moss. The outlines are nationality.
Gotcha.
I should also mention
okay.
that I added the name of the Kingdom of Sorcery to the Kingdom of Sorcery box because it gets name dropped in episode 8.
Castle. Okay.
But that's only Carla. Carla's the only person from there. So yeah, line color and box color are 2 different metrics, even though they might share the same thing.
Okay. No, that's clear.
That's where we got the 2 keys next to each other.
For a second because it's been a bit.
Yep. Well, yeah, and you guys don't do the board thing, so it's not something natural to your thing. Hey, I if I had found the time, I was trying to do one for Expanse for y'all, but then I just did not have the time. I got like one episode in on it, and it was like, yeah, and then you guys did 3 more episodes. I'm like, I'm losing ground.
Well, what I do, I do concise notes for the episode, like a bit of a summary, and I give it to the guys because sometimes they forget. They're going to forget. Oh, we're watching what happened, and so right before we start recording, a quick refresher, and we do it off camera. We just then we'll have a quick discussion. Beginning will start that way.
Oh, there you go. A little bit of insight into our nights.
Yeah, see what makes it so popular.
Hey, you're successful. All right. Anything else about the board you want to bring up?
No. I'm just trying to remember when did you? I remember them joining, or the 2 new characters. I don't remember the circumstances how they joined.
Well, they joined the show. They didn't.
They didn't join the show. Yeah, I forgot the circumstances where they appeared.
Well, again, I've got notes about it, so maybe that'll become clear in the notes. Because otherwise, well, let's just go hop into the notes then.
Sure.
And unlike your succinct version of just going over what happened last time, mine's just a waterfall of thought that whatever I see, write that down. So, in the last note section we did, I went over the story that was being told about the original party at the gathering and how each description was for a specific person. The last one was a warrior of magic, the only light who had not a name to give. And I said that was obviously Carla. Maybe I've forgotten something, as it's been a couple of weeks since the last recording. But who was Carla inhabiting back then? Wart recognized Carla in the first episode, so we know that they were in the party, but we also know that the body they were in was Lelia's in that episode. Did Wart recognize them via some sixth sense, the way they talked, or did Carla inhabit someone that looked like Lelia back then as well? I mean, this might be meaningless towards where the story's going, but it's something I've been wondering about as I messed with the board.
Do you think he recognized the headband?
Well, that wouldn't... See, that would say something about Wart.
Well, he's a sage, so we don't know. And again, we don't know much about his background in terms, at least, and whatever his abilities are, or knowledge of what he may or may not know. Well, just guessing, I don't know if that's the case, because if that's the case, that she was in that form in the original party. Well, how long was the original party? How old is Layla? Isn't Layla like 17 years old?
Yeah, no, she's Ness's daughter, and Ness is a member of that old party.
But that old party was before 17 years. I don't think she was born yet.
Yeah, it was like 30 years ago.
So Layla must have had a different body.
Carla,
excuse me. Carla had a different body. And the only thing I can imagine him knowing is the fact that either he recognizes the headband, or maybe they've been talking for a while.
Well, that's why I said it was like the the way that she speaks. Does she speak differently? But I don't think so either, because when Carla leaves Lelia, there's no indication that Lelia is now speaking in a different way than Carla had previously spoke.
Was she verbally speaking to him, or was she like telepathy or something like that?
Verbally.
Maybe that could be.
They were talking out loud in the first episode.
So no.
I'm just saying, like, I don't understand how Wart recognized her, but your indication that maybe he recognized the headband is probably a pretty good one. It's just the indication then that he would then recognize that she's somebody that inhabits people and had no problem with that the entire time.
Or maybe he does have a problem with it. It's just that he's powerless against it.
Well, my episode 1 notes was about how it seemed like he was in love with Carla. The way he talked about it was like like a main character protecting the love interest. And then the surprise when it turns out that she's actually a member of the party and he's talking about her that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I again, we do know that they've made from here on out, it's a different story. So who knows what they omitted or added extra to it. You know what I mean? So, and since there's a second series on this, we'll probably get more insight there. If we want to go back to this, like we should probably go back when we get to that show. If we get to that show, have some questions from this show to see if they answer it in the other show.
I mean, I always just share my notepad.
Yeah.
You know? You can see everything that we've gone over by that point. Yeah. So I guess the monsters that Marmo was using in its army must have come from Marmo, and were not native to Lodoss like we suspected. I say that due to Shiris's opening conversation with Orson, where she goes on about how the mayor had hired them to protect the town, but cut them loose once the war was over. It seems like the expectation then would be that there will be no more monster attacks with the war being over. Otherwise, why wouldn't you keep these 2 mercenaries on board to protect against all future attacks? Keep in mind, I'm talking expectation versus reality. It seems all that much more likely to me that any monsters in Lodoss may well attempt to settle and take any land that they've conquered for themselves. You'd never really know if the danger had passed, and it seems like folly to me to assume that an army of monsters would behave the same way as an army of humans, dwarves or elves.
But it also begs the question, then if that's the case, if they're not originally from Lodoss, then who was attacking? Who are those goblins or orcs that were attacking the original village in the first episode?
Marmo. I think they're with Marmo.
All right, but control under the Dark Elf? I think the Dark Elf may have some. Did he make an appearance in that episode? I could have sworn there was a Dark Elf in that episode. Could have been. That's because that's where delete.
I don't think so. I think we're thinking of the Dark Elf that appears in the next episode. Well, not the next. Well, sorry, that's episode 3. Because the village attack is technically episode 2. No, I think they get all buffed up. Ironically, the same Berserker thing that we saw in episode 8, they all get that, and it's Slain that subdues them with the spirits.
Okay, well, that's good. I mean, that makes that at least makes a lot more sense on how he came with his army.
And not only that, the leader of those goblins was wearing an outfit the same as another goblin that we later see in the Marmo army. So
you did mention that. You did point that out. You're right. You're correct. Yeah, that makes more sense. Because so he probably brought that over.
So this is probably a scouting band of the Marmo army ahead of everything else. It's the first contact for our heroes party with the oncoming danger, right? Because obviously what you're doing if you're going to play a game, you have to have them in contact with the weakest part of the enemy forces so that they can then, level up through the game.
Yeah, and you can see, oh, wow, this is the main force right here, and this is where it started from. So
so it's easier to take out scouts and whatnot then. All right. The Orson-Shiris encounter is just such an odd detour from the greater story. They aren't characters we've had any investment into before. They don't really flesh out the world any. I feel like they are done a disservice encountering the main party. Shiris gets her ass handed to her immediately and is made to look fantasy racist by not being able to tell the difference between elves, plus thinking all elves are from Marmo. And Orson gets the dumb badass card, except that then Shiras has to beg Parn not to kill him, despite the fact that Orson is tearing up the hillside with each sword swing.
The berserker.
I don't feel like Parn could beat this guy, but I feel like the show wants me to think that he could. I have to suspect that they were only introduced to foreshadow them as new party members, considering that this is a game being played, and that Gim's death and Woodchuck being taken over by Carla would mean that 2 players are at the table who would need new characters.
And then so late in the show. And so late in the series, we dropped in like this.
Well, I mean, to be fair, if you're going to establish characters and your investment in them, and it's going to have more of a payoff to kill them later, you're not going to be invested in someone who appears and then dies as much as you are somebody who's been on a whole journey with, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, if they're writing them off as cannon fodder, but even then, I mean...
no, I'm saying that, okay, you and me, before the game started, discussed the fact that, hey, I'd like to try a new character or something. Like, okay, well, what are we going to do with your current character, Gim? I'm like, well, I guess maybe we'll kill him. Can we make a cool way he'll die or something? Well, I got his combat coming up. Okay, well, before we do that, though, do you have a new character? Yeah, I got this berserker I've been wanting to play. All right, well, we'll introduce them first, and then we'll get to the fight later. And that way, when they come back around, they'll be it'll make more sense that why this guy's going to show up later. That sort of thing.
Or could it be that they're trying to replace Gim and possible Chuck, since Chuck is under the control of, you know what I mean? Because you got a new fighter here. I don't even know what she does. If that they're thinking, maybe, who knows what they're planning on doing? Would that be what they're trying to do?
I apologize. I don't mean to laugh at you.
No, you could.
Welcome to the conversation. That has literally been my whole thing that I've been saying for the last 5 minutes. I've been describing to you the element that these 2 characters are being taken off the table. You say it in a way
where my little brain can't understand.
No, that's why I went through the whole thing of describing it from the out-of-character aspect. Again, okay. That you've been playing your 2E game that you've been doing here for like a couple of months now.
Yeah, but
2 of your players want to change characters. And you're like,
but
okay.
I'm building off what you're saying and giving you the 2 people I think they're doing it with.
Yeah, I know. That was part of my note. I could copy and paste that for you.
Okay.
Where I literally said, considering this is a game being played and that Gim's death and Woodchuck being taken over by Carla would mean that 2 players at the table would need new characters.
Yeah.
Again, I apologize if I'm coming off away. I just mean that this is what we've been talking about the whole time. I'm glad you got there.
Thank you.
It's a bit of a meta read.
Playoff, though.
What's that?
I wonder how if it's going to go. I wonder within a playoff well.
Well, there's also the element that this was introduced in episode 8, which is apparently the last canon episode. And whatever happens afterward, 9 onwards, is its own thing, right? The next 5 episodes essentially are going to be whatever
7,
they are.
8 of Game of Thrones.
I've literally just been doing that a lot recently too.
Yep.
I'm getting a lot of YouTube shorts from Game of Thrones scenes, and like, this is right before everything went down the drain. Everything we were all waiting to see, and then I don't know. I've been getting a lot of Daenerys meets Jon for the first time, or
like YouTube shorts.
Yeah. It's like, the things we've been waiting for. King of the North meets the Breaker of Chains. It's like, cool. That's right there near the end where the show goes downhill. All right. It's curious that Parn asks why Carla killed Beld like he does. He seems genuinely angry that she killed Beld. Fawn's death would have seemingly left Marmo as the winner of the war, but it seems implied that Beld's death also ended the war with no winner, and that Marmo is now on the withdraw. So why is Parn angry about that? Beld being alive seems like it would be the worst case scenario for all involved.
That would be. She just wants to keep it casual, but why would he? Well, I guess the reason he's asking her is probably because Fawn came off as a very good guy, honorable type of guy. So maybe in that sense, he's asking, why him? Why you kill him? But at the same time, killing both of them dying, is her ensuring that everything's still in chaos in some ways.
Right. I'm not asking to her motivation. Yeah. I do actually have a note about that later and why that doesn't make any sense. And I'm not even asking why he's asking. Like, asking alone, perfectly fine. He says, essentially, I don't remember the exact words, but, you killed Beld. Why? He's angry about it. Why is he angry that she killed the bad guy's leader? Because again, if Fawn had died and Beld had lived, Beld would have won the war, and Marmo would be in control, and the monsters would be running around.
I think he's trying to figure out her motivations in the sense that he probably thought that she was working for Beld, and the fact that she did what she did, like maybe that threw him off. Like, why, like he doesn't know, he doesn't see the whole picture.
Again, my question is more towards why is he angry about
it? Don't know. Don't know why he's angry about it.
So we have the war between the goddesses that created Lodoss 1,000 years ago. Then around 500 years ago, we have the fall of Castul, which is when Carla started her plan to ensure that power never remained in one location on Lodoss, to ensure that Lodoss would never be fully destroyed by those seeking that power. At least that's my interpretation of what she's saying, because on examination, it makes very little sense. This isn't like the shadows from Babylon 5, sowing chaos to make the strong rise to the top and survive. She's creating wars to make sure that no one gets that much stronger than anyone else. In the process, we've destroyed Canaan and Alanya, though. I guess the implication is that a Marmo and Valis, without Beld and Fawn, would be that much weaker as well. The point of what she's doing doesn't align with the reason she's doing it. Her kingdom was destroyed in pursuit of power, and now she's destroying kingdoms in pursuit of preventing destruction.
I don't know. I don't know.
Imagine you're not even watching the show. I'm going to tell you something, and you're going to try and figure out what I'm telling you here. I am going to destroy everything to prevent everything from being destroyed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's a crazy thought. That's a crazy. If that's her motivation, it's crazy. Could it be that she's just going nuts? Maybe she reached a level of. I don't see. Why would you do that?
I have to believe that she's not, because that would be insane. And I know it's. Is she going nuts? That would be insane.
Be quite insane, actually.
But I just mean from the aspect of how am I, the viewer, supposed to pick up on that when the idea that Carla is Lelia and all this other stuff is just kind of being introduced now, that I have no basis to know what she's really like to begin with, to then say, oh, you're not like this. This isn't the Carla that saved the Lodoss 30 years ago, or, but apparently it's known that she's been around for 500 years doing this too.
Could it be that she's not Carla? And there's something else?
I mean, it was already my theory from like episode 2 or 3 that it was like, oh, it's going to be one of the goddesses or something.
Yeah, right? I mean, that theory, it sounds more and more plausible the more we go into it.
I don't know. I don't think so anymore. The whole Carla thing, we spent too much time building that to then throw that away for no reason. I mean, it could be Carla was always just a code name for like the goddess of destruction or whatever, but at the end of the day, that's still Carla, though.
Yeah.
And also, not for nothing, that's why I started that note with the whole 1,000 years ago, 500 years ago thing.
Maybe we'll get some more reveals as the episodes come closer, as we go through more of the episodes.
I mean, every episode rushes to its end. All right. Let's see. I got one note left. Seems kind of funny that Gim had to be told that the circlet on Lelia's forehead was Carla's true form, given that, 1, we never saw Wart say that. By the way, I didn't put it in note here. They say, Wart told us the circlet is Carla's true form. We never saw that. That never happened on screen. So, it's weird given that. And 2, Gim is the one that had the vision of the circlet and Lelia in the Forest of No Return and never told anyone. So it's weird that he's the one who has to be told that the circlet's Carla's true form, when one, he's the only one that knows that, and two, we're being reminded, I think it was Parn who says it, that Wart told us that. By the way, super love that a character has to tell us that they know information that we haven't been told yet, that they've been told off screen somewhere. Really fits the show, though, so no strong complaints. All right, well, any other notes that you might have off the top of your head about last episode?
No. I gotta, but do you remember how the game passed? Let's refresh my memory in that.
He pushes. Carla does some like thing, and it's like blue wind comes down towards the party, and Slane tries to get in front of it, but before he could even like put up a bubble shield or whatever, Gim is like walking into it in front of them, and the wind is hitting him and like going around the party, and eventually he gets in far enough where he can open his palm up, and he's got that hair thing that he's been carving out of wood.
He made, yeah.
And that's what induces Carla to be shocked for a moment, and I think he throws his axe. I almost wrote a note about how the hell that works. He throws his axe, and somehow the axe doesn't cut her head off, but it just knocks the circlet into the air. Because think about it, this is got to be a heavy...
cut right through. I should have cut right through.
Heavy battle axe. He is like down here. She's up on the stairs up here, right? He's throwing the axe full strength. The circlet sits like right here on your head, right? So it's got to come up from this angle, hit the circlet. That thing's got to be what?
It should at least shave the tip of your nose as it's going up that way or something.
Well, my argument is that the axe has to be a battle axe of some sort. So 5-10 pounds thrown high speed coming up at, again, this angle. It's going to chop the top of your head off.
Must be some dwarven axe throwing skills that we're not aware of.
Well, either way, right after that, he dies.
Yeah, okay. All right, thanks for that refresher. I like, he died. I forgot how he died. Yeah, okay.
And then right. Woodchuck, for some reason, is standing behind a wall away from the rest of the group, and he looks down and sees the circlet in the water. And I thought for a moment in the rewatch, because I forgot how this played out, that we were going to go back to his greed sort of thing. It's going to be a glowy little thing in the water. He's going to grab for it. No. It just like raises up in the water, and he screams like, no! And then we cut away. We don't actually see him get taken.
Okay. All right, then. Cool.
All right, well, if that is everything from the notes, then as I said, I do come with a comment. Kellen Winslow from the episode The Grey Witch. Love your guys' reactions together. I've subbed to Ray's channel after watching you two. Hopefully Ray joins you if you guys do the Lodoss TV show and Legend of Crystania. The replay books of Lodoss were hugely popular in Japan in the late 80s. This was all new to many Japanese that weren't familiar with Western fantasy. Before Record of the Lodoss War, pen and paper RPGs were not popular at all. It did introduce the fantasy style to Japan. Ray was right. Dragonlance did the same thing Menzuo did with his party. When my brother and I played AD&D back in the 80s, we actually did the same thing. We recorded our sessions on tape while we played, so we could go back and listen to our plays like a record. You don't actually see the 6 heroes together here. They only talk about them, but there is a Super Nintendo game where you can actually play them as they fight the Demon Lord.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Something?
Cool. I wonder if I have it, because I have a lot of Nintendo games here. I'll look and see if I have that game.
Might be on Steam as well. As per that other one, the Deedlit one. I actually agree with Ray about Deed. I don't think she had anything racist against Gim before they entered the mines. She is just a creature of the outdoors and the forest and doesn't like going underground. How magic works exactly in Lodoss isn't really made clear in the OVAs. When they first played the game, they made based off of D&D. They took some things and changed other things around to give it more of a Japanese flair. Magic would be hammered out more in the later books and the TV show. The series does feel a bit rushed, especially after episode 8, because this only deals with the first part of the books, and since the books weren't done, they had to make up an ending for the OVAs. As for the second episode, I think that Gim telling Slain that he doesn't need all the books was just something he said to get him up off his butt. Saying, hey, you know a lot already, now it's time to put that knowledge into action instead of sitting here doing nothing. And Parn burning his home down is, of course, a hero-style trope. In fact, the first time my brother saw it, he said, oh, he's doing what a lot of heroes do. Sorry. Oh, he's doing what a lot of heroes that Joseph Campbell talked about do. Parn just wanted a fresh start. His old life was over, and I don't think any of them had the intention of coming back, especially Parn. Good reaction, though. The next 4 episodes are probably the best.
Very nice. We appreciate the comment. And the information.
I think we talked about Hero's Journey before, which is where Joseph Campbell comes into play. The monomyth, rather.
I think that the RPG system in Japan that's huge, bigger than D&D, is coming to America now. They're making it in English. I just saw a clip on YouTube, and I'm wondering if it's the same system
Sword
that they
World,
use for this.
Called.
What was it called?
I think it's called Sword World.
Sword World. That's what it's called. Yeah, Sword World. So it's. I just saw a video. I think it was yesterday, the day before yesterday. They're going to be coming out here very soon.
I know.
I'm shocked they hadn't been out here yet. At least not translated.
Yeah, I was about to say. I don't think it's out there. Obviously, it's just untranslated. So there's probably a bunch of fan works of translating it, but not an official source.
Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm quite curious to see what it's about and how that plays off. If it's good, it's good. I'll be more happy to play a game that's good.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of experience with Japanese RPGs other than JRPGs. Console stuff.
Video game wise,
Yeah. Which are always a thing. I don't mean like Dragon Quest or Final Fantasy. I'm talking about like the more Shadow Hearts and whatnot.
That's like more. Is that more recent?
No, that's PlayStation 2.
Okay,
sorry.
Gotcha.
My brief foray into PlayStation was just PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2. Because before that, it was Super Nintendo and Nintendo. And then after that, it was computers, PC gaming.
Well, that's when it got better, the RPG games. But what's the difference between a JRPG and a regular RPG? And I say that because I'm thinking in my hearts of hearts that like the game Secrets of Mana. I don't know if you played that game or heard. I'm sure you heard of that game before.
Oh yeah.
So is that considered just an RPG, or would that be considered a JRPG?
Well, that's JRPG. The Secret of Mana, Chrono Trigger. Chrono Quest is also a game too, though. Final Fantasy, Dragon Quest, the JRPGs versus say Heroes of Might and Magic, Ultima, Wizardry. Sorry, not Sorcery. Maybe Sorcery is probably a game too. Wizardry. Like, those are classic Western-style games.
Gotcha. Okay. I always had the trouble distinguishing, there's some that you can actually tell the JRPG because it looks very, anime. Very anime-ish.
Yeah, I mean, well, so you asked the question, and I never really thought about it before, so I'm in my head, what is the difference? And my problem is I've actually watched tons of videos about it, and I've played different styles of games. I just never really thought about it because at the end of the day, they do have similar mechanics. Or not similar mechanics. Yeah, I'm going back to Shadow Hearts, which is all about hitting squares and circles and whatnot. But, because, one is highly inspired by the other. I think Dragon Quest is highly inspired by Wizardry.
Still though, if you gave me two games side by side and told me one's JRPG and one's RPG, Westernized RPG, I think you could probably tell the difference, but it was probably very, very similar. Very, very similar. 100%. Like you just saying just now, what is the difference? So.
Well, here's the thing. I think the way that you have to test it is I put you in front of a computer, right? And no title screen, just put you in the middle of the game. because if somebody handed me 2 boxes, my first thing is like, okay, you're trying to ask me which one of these is a JRPG. I'm gonna look at who published it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna cheat. Like, what's the name of the company that's associated with this game? Nihua Studios. I'm gonna guess this is the JRPG.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that is our comment. So I guess there's nothing left to do here but to hop on in and see where the story diverges.
But before we get started,
make sure that you hit the like button,
hit that subscribe button,
comment down below to feed that algorithm.
On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered,
uncensored,
and uncut,
as well as some early access stuff,
you can check it out over on the Patreon.
It's just $5 a month, but hey, no pressure.
There's zero pressure in order to do that. It's just a little bit of extra support, and it would be greatly appreciated.
Who would have guessed? You might not remember it, but it's a joke I've been doing for the last 7 episodes. Yeah, because we still have the dragon thing to deal with. Which is to say, Carla woke up all the dragons.
In the last episode?
Episode before last. Episode 7, I'm going to say. You remember kills Bell?
Yeah, because I remember, but I also remember there was that dude, that one guy that was a sorcerer.
Wangren.
Yeah.
Wargren? I added his name to the board. It's a W name. Maynon? Wagnard, I was close.
Ragnard, yeah, I see.
They don't say it in the episode itself. Well, the narrator does. And the narrator says it on the next time on. But they said his name finally, and that counts for me. That's on the board.
Now, we still don't know what his motivations are.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we don't. It's the problem.
We really don't. We don't know anything he's done.
Well, I know my notes about him specifically have been about, he's like, people don't understand, none of this matters. People age and die. It's like, okay. You're going to kill everyone? Is that your goal? I would say Carla would be against that, but I have no friggin' clue anymore. I'm assuming Carla is still going to be magical.
I'm going to assume that. If it isn't, then that's easy to kill now.
Well, I mean, it was like Lelia magical and Carla's just using that, or is now Carla going to be amazing at thief skills?
Wasn't she, though, like, titled like sorceress or something at one point?
Yeah, she's the last remaining person from that sorcerer kingdom.
Are we in Marmo?
I think that's Carla's old castle, isn't it? No, we're in Marmo. You were right.
Yeah, good guess. Uh-oh.
Oh, so they're being controlled by magic. Oh. It's the steps we've seen before, but we never saw the whole castle before. Oh, talking about Fawn's daughter.
Cardis.
Cardis is the goddess of destruction. Or darkness, I can't remember which one of those two. But he's been invoking Cardis the whole time.
That looks pretty badass, I'm not gonna lie. I like the way that looked.
I mean, you say that. It looks stupid to me.
I love it.
It's like seeing an angry golfer racing its club in the middle of a storm.
Nope, is that Carla?
Well, there's no circlet in there.
The hell?
Spectre, maybe? Shadow?
Did he capture it? Or stopped it?
Oh, he's got Belt's sword. Right?
That's the sword of Belt.
They're talking about it. Well, I mean,
そこに住むマリウシューティングスターが古代王国より預かったという。
Shooting star.
なくてロードスが手に入ると支配の王爵つかむ者ロードスを制する。くれぐれもお忘れなきよう。
I mean, I don't obviously think you want to be holding a sword and a scepter at the same time. So yeah, my guy got promoted.
Actually, he is, yeah. Everybody seemed to make it look easy against Parn.
Except for the fact that the show also wants us to think that Parn is a lot better than he used to be.
Yeah. And he can kill that berserker like you mentioned earlier.
It also really implies that the mayor of that other town was an idiot. Because he sends the mercenaries away saying we won't need them after the war is over.
Mm.
And now we find out that the monsters have gone mindless beasts. So they're still around, terrorizing the countryside. Now you have no mercenaries.
Ooh, that's a big boy.
Well, you remember King Fan almost had to sacrifice his daughter to this very specific dragon before. But he chose not to, and that's why Parn's father had to sacrifice himself.
Do you think there's a possibility that Parn's dad is still alive?
I don't think there's ever been any evidence that they've shown us he's dead. I feel like they talk about him like he's dead.
Yeah, they talk about like he's dead, but there's never evidence that he's dead or not.
I mean, rules of movie making, if you don't see it happen on screen.
It ain't happened.
Although they've got his armor. So that implies that they know. Yeah, I think that proves he's dead. The armor and the sword.
Yeah, that would be like, yeah.
Well, because Parn remembers him leaving in the armor. So where did they get the armor back from? Bit of ironic naming that we did there.
Damn. Damn.
Well, legitimately, he beat him in training with one shield. Like, he didn't even do anything else.
I know, he really didn't. But you just being away, bro. That was pretty harsh. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Also, how uncomfortable it would be in half-plate armor all the time.
Yeah.
Doesn't second edition have encumbrance rules? I know there's rules about how long it takes to get into it, And rules against sleeping in it.
Well, there is encumbrance rules, especially for, again, like we talked about earlier, about initiative.
You're right, but I mean, like, about wearing full armor all the time.
All day long, that's gotta suck.
And there's definitely rules about not sleeping in it, because how else are you going to get ambushed in the middle of the night and have your aides put it on you? 10 minutes to put on full plate, I think.
Did you see the movie Excalibur?
I can't remember. I've seen a lot of King Arthur stuff.
There was really almost an X-rated scene when the guy had his full armor on.
I just know there's specifically rules about getting out of plate armor if need be, about how long it takes, or shortcutting it by cutting the straps and everything, like ruining the armor to get out. Somebody casts heat metal on you, man. You got to get out.
Oh yeah, you're done. You're done.
Meanwhile, the Legion of Doom.
Are we back with
there's our map.
Wart.
There was our map of Lodoss.
The one we did.
It was about the same quality, yeah.
Nope, it's not Wart.
Scepter of Domination. Which, implies great things about the people of Lodoss.
Think that's Woodchuck showing up?
How would I don't know how Woodchuck would have gotten to Marmo. Then again, Carla. Superpowered Carla.
Oh. It's not Carla.
No, Woodchuck is Carla. That is Carla.
Yep.
Though we did ask before, I think last episode, what name they would go by. They would still go by Carla. Yeah, well, there we go. We answered that one. Okay, here's my problem, is that I guessed this before, and then I turned away from that. Never mind, I was right. I think also the element is I think he's wrong.
He's wrong?
Yeah. Well, remember, we've seen multiple times where it seems like he thinks he's talking to Cardis, and it's actually that black dragon. Or that black dragon is controlling him, or something like that. So yeah, I don't think he's actually going to resurrect a god. I think he's just going to lure out a dragon.
Yeah, I think he's being fooled, for sure.
I think she's more like a honeypot spy than she is the hiding spy.
A little bit dramatic there.
I thought we were going to go for like a blood oath or something.
That's what I was thinking.
Also, as you said, dramatic. They didn't show us the wound.
They didn't.
I'll be back before this wound heals. Was it like a pinprick?
But I can't imagine doing that with anybody I know. Listen, you can back? Yeah, give me a second. I'll be back before this heals, guys.
Died outside the alleyway. Let out.
Ray never came back, man. What happened to Ray?
Turns out he nicked a vital artery.
It's been 2 weeks.
Ray sounded confident, knew nothing about medicine.
I actually believed him.
Here's my problem, is that last episode we covered, oh, you're racist against elves. You think all elves are dark elves. Is she gonna, like, wildly overcompensate the other way for the obvious dark elf? I'm not racist.
At this point, it being a whole new tale from what the original was probably going to, I don't know what to expect at this point. You know? And I wouldn't doubt that what you said is going to happen, a whole 180 here.
I think the worst thing that could happen is something good happening to my guy here. Because if they just made it up wholesale and doesn't follow the story, that means if, like, he gets his best ending here in this OVA, and then we watch, like, the actual show, that knowing he's not gonna get the best ending because they just made that up for this.
Just said, just to finish it. You guys should be quiet, guys. Just be quiet. Why are we screaming like this? You're gonna get burned up.
Overconfidence. Also, I think the sword has supposed to control dragons or something too. Or at least that
demons.
I know it's the demon sword, but it seemed like Beld was implying he had, like, control of that black dragon because of the sword. Or he was at least saying, no, keep sleeping or something. Now's not the time. Like, he was keeping it subdued. Because I remember that was my point about Wagnard, whatever the hell his name is that it seemed like the dragon was controlling him, but Beld, through the sword, was controlling the dragon. I have the power.
Oh, give me sight beyond sight.
Oh no, it's that guy. Look, I've taken a picture of everybody and put them on a board and organized them. I don't know who that guy was.
Didn't we see a male elf at one point? Or a male drone?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen a couple of them. I think they've all died, too. Oh, are you talking about the one that seemed to have been with that female dark elf that we keep seeing?
Yeah, that guy.
That Ashram showed up? That one episode? That would be a weird pull. Make that guy a jealous lover out of nowhere and...
I thought they hit her. I thought they got her.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Ranger. I think we were still on the bench about Ranger Druid. I'm going with Ranger. Sorry, you were just holding a sword a second ago. Are we sacrificing Deedlit to the dragon?
Maybe that's the plan, maybe?
I don't know why else they'd be going there. Oh, I guess because Ashram's going there. That's just meeting back up with him. Oh, she didn't wildly overcorrect. She was still being racist against an elf. And exactly what I said before. They're joining the party. Again, D4 damage. Not gonna do a lot.
No, won't do much.
Also, unnecessary spell components to cast sleep.
If I'm not mistaken, elves are immune to sleep spells.
Oh, yeah, you're right. That's the spirit name, as I mentioned before, because I added it to the board. Spirit, Rage, and Madness. I feel like I could almost run a Lodoss game now. I just know so much about the setting. Except for locations.
So, she was afraid that Pawn was going to can beat the Berserker, and meanwhile, the Dark Elves are running away from the Berserker. Had no problem going up against Parn.
Right. Well, she begged Parn not to kill him. I guess implying that she thinks Parn could have defeated him. Yeah, it looks like a bunch of level 9s going up against a level 20 encounter.
If they do defeat Shooting Star, I wonder how they're going to do it. Because it looks quite massive.
I imagine classic trickery, right? Weak underbelly.
Weak underbelly or a missing scale.
Or, something in the mouth. The problem is that it's not the classical fight of, it's like 10 times bigger than we are. I think it was like 20, 30 times bigger than them.
Yeah, it's huge.
Getting stabbed in a missing scale would be like us being stabbed by a toothpick. Like, might hurt a lot, but it's not going to be deadly in one go. That's not always a good thing.
Stories change.
Because my boy's been suddenly given ambition to conquer Lodoss for some reason.
Yeah, and almost went head on with his red dragon, which I think he would have died.
I don't know, but my guy's got the demon sword.
Well, yeah, he does.
Who else has anything going for them?
Who has Farn's sword?
Nobody.
Oh.
Well, not to what we've seen. Oh, hold on, let's see. At the beginning of episode 8, they show King Fawn's armor and the sword at the...
In the castle?
Sorry, your camera went out.
Oh, did it? Hold on, my bad. What the hell? What did he go on? Sorry about that.
Yeah, I got thrown. I was like, "Oh, did we lose him?" No, they showed it at the funeral at the beginning of episode 8.
Okay.
So like everyone's gathered all together there, and it's just his like chest piece and the sword laying on top of like a bunch of flowers and everything. And Parn doesn't have it now, so maybe Kashu, if they like just imply that Kashu took it after.
I guess I'm going to assume that somebody got the sword. Either Cashew, or maybe we're not aware that maybe this guy got it. Parn, excuse me. But like it was magical. Wasn't it a magical sword?
I mean, it seems to be implied to be. Like,
and I think they're gonna need all the weapons they can, and they're gonna go here and fight this. The shooting star looks like, again, there's gonna be a problem unless they all join together to kill it and then go from there. But let's see. I wonder what happens.
I mean, I doubt that they're going to join together. Here.
Well, they're all going to the same spot at the moment, so maybe they might join up for that one greater threat.
Well, it's not a greater threat though. For Kashu and gang, it's a greater threat. For Ashram, it's a target. Again, it's different purposes. Ashram is not threatened by the fire dragon because he had to leave. Voice cracking again. I'm going through puberty, I guess. He had to leave Marmo to come here with the intent to fight the fire dragon.
No, I get that. I get that.
Kashu is defending his people, and he is threatened by the fire dragon.
I just don't think that Ashram and the demon sword is enough. It just feels that way. He just looks massive, bro. I'm like, I don't know if that's gonna be enough. So even though that's the target, I think that target is gonna end up becoming a threat.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing on that aspect of it. I am saying that the different purposes, I think, is going to give them cause to not band together. This isn't the fire dragon's been attacking Marmo and we need to defend ourselves, and then Kashu is like, it's been killing local villages, we need to go and protect those people, and that these two people who are now forced to work together by the situation are going to have to do that. This is I came here to kill it and take control of your country. You are my enemy, no matter what happens.
Well, I'm thinking, you think Ashram might be doing something where he's heading there, but if Parn shows up with Kashu and whatever, and knowing what we know, or at least about Parn, that he's stubborn, once he's focused, he's just attacking them there. If he can just sneak in and get the scepter and get the sword, now that he has a sword, he just get the scepter.
I don't know.
Now that the dragon's distracted.
I don't know why Parn would go for the scepter.
No, not Parn. Ashram. In other words, while Parn and Kashu are dealing with the dragon, Ashram can just go on a side quest and sneak into the mountain and get the scepter.
I doubt it.
Because that'll at least weaken, if not weaken the dragon, it can either weaken the dragon or weaken that army, which either way will be better for Ashram.
I mean, I get where you're coming from. I don't think that follows on Ashram's character.
Yeah.
That'd be like if Woodchuck was in command of the army. I think that's something Woodchuck would do. But Ashram feels like a warrior type, right?
Go head on.
Yeah, well, I don't think subterfuge is going to be his play. People might do subterfuge on his behest. The dark elf lady. Her name stands for the P, and I just can't remember it.
So are we possibly looking at a Hobbit Battle of the Five Armies?
Maybe. I don't.
And then whoever wins is like they got both islands. Like this is it.
Well, no, I doubt that because of the Carla element. Carla's not going to allow that to happen. No one's going to come out of this a real winner. Also, whatever. I still can't remember his name right. Wagdon, whatever his name.
Ragnard. Big battle coming soon.
Yeah. The overall on that was I have no idea what's going to happen. So, I don't remember what my train of thought was, but I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, so it looks like though if this is the direction they're going at, if this part of this is not in the original story, I guess it's like the best they can do. Like the idea was to go here and get that scepter, because this is the first time they mentioned scepter. I mentioned it before, or am I crazy?
No, I don't remember. I don't remember any scepter being mentioned before.
And the demon sword is the key to controlling everything. Then wouldn't Marmo?
The demon sword is the key to controlling Marmo. The scepter is the scepter is for controlling Lodoss.
Yeah. So they already have control of Marmo. Now he wants all Lodoss.
Well, Marmo was never contested, so
yeah. But it wouldn't be here. We don't know what Dusky the Bell did to control a Marmo, unless it was a sword. I guess it was a sword. But the thing is that this is the first time we hear of it. We didn't hear that you need the sword and the scepter, the sword form armor and the scepter, because Farn didn't have it. But then he wasn't controlling one of those, was he?
No one was controlling
No, he only had, yeah.
I mean, it seems implicit to say that Carla wouldn't want anyone to have the scepter. And Carla has godlike power, so I don't understand how anyone's going to get the scepter.
But she seemed to balk at Ragnar. Like she had a look of shock. Or at least Woodchuck seemed to have a look of shock when he mentioned was it Cardis?
Well, I don't know what you were seeing. I didn't see shock. Like mild amusement, maybe.
You thought it was mild amusement?
Not amusement, bemusement. Huh? That's curious. I wouldn't put all my eggs in that basket. That's essentially what they were going on about. Ragnar's like, you don't understand the power with which you're dealing with. When I resurrect Cardis, the god of destruction or darkness, I can't remember which one.
Yeah, when I get his powers and all that, yeah. So.
Yeah, and then Carla's like, all right, well, good luck with that, I guess. It wasn't like there wasn't shock there. There was hardly any expression. Because again, I just assumed Carla could stop it at any time.
Well, I wonder what she's going to do. What's coming on now with all these new events?
I mean, she can just summon swords and spears and from the sky. She can change the weather. She can summon all the dragons at once.
I mean, that's what makes you think that she is a god.
Well, I mean, here's the thing. We know that when the gods fought, they rended Lodoss from what I can't remember the name of the island is, the main island. So that's the power of the gods. So clearly up there, but the gods are still going to be over her. Because not for nothing, she couldn't save her kingdom, so she's not all powerful.
So makes you think that she may be a puppet, only because of the power that she's displaying.
If this was a longer show, I might agree with you. But we're like 4 episodes from the end.
Yeah,
it seems it would be insane to me if they were to introduce another person behind Carla for one episode. Oh, that is. We were talking about JRPGs before. That is a classic Final Fantasy staple. The person you've been fighting the entire time, you defeat them, and what's that? Oh, it's God. You know?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's the big thing, like Final Fantasy X, right? You defeat Sin, the giant monster that's been destroying entire cities across the entire globe, and you come to grips with that Sin is actually your dad, and all this other stuff, and then, oh no, it turns out that Yevon, the god that everyone's been worshipping the entire game, and predominantly like the good guy, is actually this parasite that's pretending to be a god and just taking all your worship in, and now we have to defeat them. A concept introduced in the last minute of the game.
Yeah, well, I wonder what's going to happen then. That's all I can say at this point, honestly. Where we're going to go. 3 more episodes we got?
4. Well, we just did 9. It's 13 episodes. So,
13. All
right, well, that said then, I guess there's nothing left to do but wrap up here. So, once again, I've been Theta. This has been Ray. We've been Stoneface Reactions and our Knights.
Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. We appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll catch you next time. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stoneface Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?